everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Not exactly a video that you guys are used to. We have decided to enter the land of podcast. So Nick came up with this brilliant idea and he was like, we have such great conversations between each other that we should probably do some podcasting, right?
Yeah.
We have some very heated conversations sometimes, controversial conversations sometimes, and really, how would you describe our conversations like?
So I wouldn't say heated, but it's more like spirited conversation.
Yeah, we have spirited conversations. Okay, so today's topic, before I get to today's topic, I personally want to say Happy Father's Day to all of the great daddies out there. You guys are awesome, but I hate to burst your bubble because my husband is the best daddy ever. So
right.
I'm very thankful to God that I have you. We're outside, and I don't know why when we decided to do this podcast, it decided to look like it wants to storm right now.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I'm looking around. It looks like it's going to storm, but
hopefully,
you continue.
Yeah, hopefully we won't have any type of hurricane in the midst of this. But if we do, you guys will be right with us. So, okay, so we want you guys to hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats because in this jaw-dropping video or in this jaw-dropping podcast, we are going to discuss the unprecedented rise of men. Okay? Are we safe out here now?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. I see the sky flashing. I'm like, ah. Okay. All right. So get ready to be amazed, inspired, and even a little bit intimidated by the discussion we're about to have today. Okay, so in this podcast, I'm going to be going ahead. I'll be the interviewee. I'll be interviewing Nick. I'm going to see what his take on this is. Since it's going to be Father's Day, this is the eve of Father's Day. It's going to be Father's Day tomorrow. Yeah. We want to talk about a few topics. So I'm really excited to interview you and ask you a few questions, Nick. Okay, so I have my phone. I am supposed to have, so I have my phone with my questions ready to go. Okay. So, Nick, let's talk about the parenting power shift. Why do you think moms are flocking to kind of watch men redefine child rearing?
Say it again? I didn't get that.
Okay, so why do you think moms are kind of flocking to see men redefine child rearing? Okay, so gone are the days when fathers are solely seen as providers. In today's world, we're definitely seeing a super power shift where dads are stepping up in incredible ways. Okay, so when I say the parenting power shift, we're talking about gone are the days when men were solely the providers. Would you like to elaborate more on that, Nick? What do you feel that men have evolved to in this day and age in comparison to maybe when we were growing up or when our parents were growing up?
I think the evolution of so-called men came along because I think we have all these outlets that's kind of showing it up more, and maybe it's not that we're doing more. Maybe we have been doing more, it's just haven't been highlighted that much over the years, and now it's being highlighted more because everybody has a camera and everybody could take a picture or take a video and put it out there, but I think it's been going on for a while. It's just been highlighted more now.
So when I say that there's been somewhat of a shift, so we're talking things like men are more involved with the care of their children, changing diapers. I think that's definitely a shift. I wouldn't say that it's more highlighted. I would say there's a shift. Would you not say that?
Did I heard that?
What on earth?
But I mean, that's a good question, man. It's just, I don't.
Because, okay, for instance, I remember at the beginning, you weren't so apt to like change diapers and do like all of the things that I was doing as newer parents, right? I would say newer, younger parents. And as you matured, and I think it's happened a lot across society, you have definitely, started to involve yourself more with more of the housework, more of the child duties, more of those types of things. And I think a lot more men are more involved in ways that they've never been involved with before. So before it might have been looked upon as, okay, a real man doesn't do those things. Like back in the day.
But I mean, it's hard to me.
Do you think back in the day that men were actually, did you see your father changing diapers and doing these kinds of things?
I mean,
not to make it personal, but I'm just saying.
No. I mean, that's fine, but I was never in it. I was never like I was never in a situation where I had a young sibling where I could see that happening or whatever. So, I mean, I never really saw that, but I mean, I think you have men out there doing their due diligence to take care of their
I know,
kids.
but this is.
But I mean, I get what you're saying. You're saying there's more men doing things now than ever before.
Yeah.
When it comes to
definitely.
When it comes to helping out with the raising of the kid. I mean, yeah, I think that is true, but I don't want it to be lost in the conversation that that guys or men wasn't playing a role. You know what I mean? Like,
But they weren't playing a role?
I mean,
But they were the providers. Back, a while back, they were considered the providers. They went to work, they usually came home, the wife was doing most of the household duties, taking care of the kids, manning over, and the man was more of like a paycheck. So even before women started to go out into the workforce, men were not very hands-on with the children and were more of the disciplinarians or the providers.
Yeah, well, and a lot of that happened. All right, so back in the days when you had before the industrialized time came, it was farmers, right? So everybody was farming, and that's what you're talking about. The man was out there working, and the woman was back at home taking care of home or whatever. But once we start getting modernized, then the female got introduced into the workforce, and once they got introduced into the workforce, then that's when the man has to start sharing some of the responsibilities because there's mommy got to go and work now. So I think that's when the shift came once we start introducing women into the workforce.
Okay. But even in today's society, most recently, I've seen a lot of more talk than normal about the stay-at-home dad. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this question. The stay-at-home dad is definitely a newer concept. So we can't deny that is a newer concept. Yeah. I personally don't agree that cameras and social media have caused an influx in showing off men and what they're now doing. I think what social media has actually done is it's highlighted, the grandiosity of a woman's responsibilities at home, and kind of highlighted the importance of a man to a child in a home. So that in turn has now exploded a revolution where you have men actually doing way more than they ever did before. That's my personal thought on that. And just from my being married to you, I see that there has definitely been a shift in even, your stand-up position within the household, doing a little bit more. Traditionally, women were the first of the house, right? Not men. Now, I'm just saying on a societal level, this could also be a little bit cultural too, but men didn't cook as much. and because they were out there working. Now the women are kind of doing a whole lot alongside her man. Would you definitely agree that men have had to shift, maybe sometimes partaking in areas that they would not normally partake in, like potentially cleaning or laundry, or being more interactive with carrying kids to activities, or even a doctor's appointment? A doctor's appointment is a big one because traditionally women are carrying children over to doctor's appointments.
And that's what and to the point I made earlier, I just think once you start, once the woman was introduced into the workforce, that's when a lot of stuff changed, because you don't have mom at home nurturing the kids, or you don't have that traditional family setting like we used to. So now you have mom at work, dad at work, come home, then you have to share that responsibility.
Yeah, but
one
Nick,
person is tired, another person is tired.
But Nick, when you're
hold on, let me just finish.
But hold on, I just want to make a statement. The age that you're talking about, what year are we talking about?
Tell me, what year are we talking about?
What year roughly are we talking about?
That the shift happened?
Yeah, the shift.
Oh, this was years ago,
decades ago.
Yeah.
So probably before we were even born.
Before we were.
Okay, so with that being said, do you really think men, let's just say before the 80s, let's assume before the 80s, do you think men before the 80s were taking a very active role in changing diapers, carrying kids to activities, going to doctor's appointments? I mean, I disagree with you because I'm talking about the most recent shift. We just lost a little bit of battery signal, and I hope you guys can hear us. We're probably gonna have to speak a little bit louder because there's so much noise in the background.
Yeah, you should be able to hear us.
Okay, so let's go back to where we were. Okay, so I was just saying to Nick, I'm talking about the most recent shift. So I'm not talking about like when, things started to change or when we started to go into the work environment. I'm talking about now. Like, we are in 2023. I want to know what you think about the role of men in terms of families and, their hands-on.
Well, I mean, that's a better question. Like, if you want to know the role of men in 2023, it's absolutely.
How has it shifted? How are you guys making competition for us as moms?
I don't like the word shift, because I don't think that's a good word to use. It's kind of like devaluing what man is to the family, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, we're taking a bigger role. You know what I mean? A man, like, fathers now are taking a bigger role.
Well, I wouldn't say shift is a bad word to use.
In my opinion.
I know. I mean, okay, so, in my opinion, I wouldn't say shift. All a shift means is a change. I mean, there has definitely been a shift in roles. Now, like I mentioned earlier, my biggest thing is you have stay-at-home dads.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not that's something that we would do in our household is irrelevant. The point is, we do have stay-at-home dads, and what's your take on like shift as in that way? That's what I mean as a shift. So the roles have now reversed. That is a shift.
Yeah, well, if you're talking about reversing the roles.
No. We're not going to get too specific. Okay, so Nick likes to get very specific with the language.
Because I want to make sure.
Shift. Okay.
I want to make sure we're actually talking about the right thing.
Okay.
I just don't like. All right. So this is my thing.
Okay. So
I don't like when you say a shift in role right now. It's like a man is just at home chilling, and then a woman is working. Like, I don't think that's fair to her.
But hold on a second.
Every man.
This is good. I didn't say that though.
Yeah, but that's what it seems like.
No, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like that to you. All I said is a shift in roles. That's all I said. A shift. So was the woman chilling and not doing anything before?
No, not chilling. Not because.
Okay,
no,
so
because.
Okay.
Like you said earlier.
A shift in roles. So A man is now doing what women did. The women were not sitting at home. So how would you think even
No, when
remotely?
I say sit, I mean, you know what I mean. When I say sit, I
don't know what you mean.
Taking on those tasks that a woman would do at
That's
home.
not sitting at home. That's a lot of
That's
work.
what I'm saying. I'm not saying. It's a figure of speech, right? But what I'm saying,
you guys are getting the raw conversations today.
No.
Okay,
I just think
unfiltered.
I just think in this time and age, you know, with the way it is, like, you know, like you can work from home. Like it's just so many. It's so dynamic, the workforce now. So
Okay.
It allows you to be at home. You know what I mean? It allows you to be flexible. Back in the days, it's just it's a lot of jobs that didn't allow you to do that. You have to get up and you have to go.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So guys, what do you guys think? I want your honest opinion. And be very interactive in the comment section because I want to know. Nick wants to know, right? You want to know, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I said that to Nick, a shift in goals, he said he didn't agree with that term shift. Now, per the dictionary, shift literally means to move or to cause move from one place to another. Now, I'm going to pull out the dictionary, and you guys will see that a lot on this podcast because that's what we like to do. Even the most simple words, you know, we like to like kind of break things down and get finite meaning so that when we're having these conversations, we can get a little more clarity. Now, we might come out here today not even agreeing, but one thing for sure is that we will definitely agree to disagree.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the word. I just don't like the word. I just don't like that word used in that context.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's just
a slight change in position or direction or tendency. So the tendency of a man is to go out there, generally, be a breadwinner, but that over the years has definitely shifted, right? So now the man is, okay, let's discuss this. The man is now at home. The woman is now the breadwinner. Is that something that you would consider? If I could bring into the home more income than you could,
yeah.
Would you consider taking on all of my duties and all of my chores as a stay-at-home mom?
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe a contract or two on the side.
As a family is a unit of one, and everybody got to play their part. So, I mean, wherever you have to pick up the slack, you have to do it. I mean, it's not. I don't think there's as a family, I don't think there's any there's duties that people are gonna do that, you know, I do this, you do that, or whatever. But I don't think anybody's better than doing a duty that somebody else does. So I don't because I don't think it's. I don't agree with it. A lot of this stuff I don't agree with, like where, you know, like this is only a woman's job or this is only a man's job to do it or whatever when it comes to your family.
Okay.
I just think wherever you see the lack in talk, you know what I mean? Whether the man or the woman, they should be able to pick up that part of it.
Okay, so, that's fair.
I mean, I don't know if that answers the question, but that's what I think.
Okay, I'm going to swing back around and ask you the question again.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think that there has been a shift in the man's role within the household in the last short while? Because of the way how our society is moving. Because it's so fast-paced, because there's more to do in a day. Do you think that there's definitely been a shift? Do you think you're a man, you have friends. Do you think men are more conscientious about the way they're moving and the way how...
I do think that, you know, in today's society, as a man, you have to play a bigger role than past generation.
Okay.
That man, you know, that came before us.
He finally agrees with me. Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's just the way how today's world is made up. made up. You know, as a man, you're playing a big role. Just like you can say the same thing for a female. Like, you know, like they're doing stuff they never used to do too. Mm-hmm. So it's I mean, everything has changed. It would be unfair to just say like the guy is doing something different, the female is doing something different too.
Okay. Now, when you say the females are doing something different, I'm just talking about the recent, say the last 5 years or so, last 10 years or so. What do you feel, since he brought it up, what do you feel that women are doing differently? Like, what is it that you feel women are doing differently, let's say within the last 10 years, that they weren't doing before? And the reason why I ask you this, okay, well, I'll just let you go ahead and answer.
Yeah, I think you got a lot more. You got a lot of women that's being, I hate to use the term go-getters, but they're championing a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? They're heading up. They're being the head of a lot. Even at my job, there's a couple females that's the big top CEO or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, but Nick, let's be real. You know, women have been doing that for a long time now. This is not like a last 5 years deal, a last 10-year deal.
It's not.
Women have been doing that for a long time.
That's
so
true.
I'm trying to pinpoint what they've been doing differently.
What I'm trying to say is, women are they're getting looked at in a different light now than they did before, right? The struggle is not as bad as it used to be, right?
I agree. Okay.
Because, I mean, it used to be rough for a woman. Like, a man does not want a woman to be a leader telling them what to do at work. It's just not, that never used to happen. But now, I mean, it's okay now.
Okay, I'm not being rude. I'm just looking down.
But I think females are getting they just do, and they're playing a bigger role in when it comes to these companies. And
okay, so you would say it's getting better. Women pretty much are go-getters. I mean, dealing with single motherhood and raising kids independently, which we know divorce rates have skyrocketed over years. So there's been a lot of women that have been doing things independently. I think women definitely have been carrying major load.
And from what I see, man, they're getting a better. See what I'm looking for. They're getting a better chances, for lack of better terms. But even like, because I've seen it, right, in the industry that I am in, like, you know, like, there's not a lot of females, and over the last couple of years, talking to my superiors, they're like, yeah, we got to get some females in here, and they did hire females. So I mean, but for the longest, there wasn't any female in that industry.
Is that because of, you think that's because of equality laws? Partly equality laws.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like women they're getting better chances.
Because of laws. I mean, the laws are changing, right? So
yeah, but because of anything,
businesses may be getting
regardless of what it is, you're getting an opportunity. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's one of them things where they're getting an opportunity. So it's gonna change. Everything is changing.
Okay. So according to Forbes, I just wanted to do a little bit of searching here while he's speaking. Okay, so there definitely has been a big societal shift, okay? And attitudes towards gender roles and parenting taking place over the last few years. So there are dads that are staying at home a lot more and tending to childcare. So according to the Pew Research Center, an estimated 2.1 million fathers were stay-at-home dads in 2021. And that is up 8%. 8%, which is a large percentage, since 1989. Since the 80s. The latter part of the 80s.
That is a huge percentage.
That is, definitely.
But I mean, there's a lot of variables that contribute to that too. You know, like at COVID, there's a lot of stuff that you got to factor into that. But the numbers don't lie. It's the numbers don't lie, right? So obviously.
And we're getting it from, I would say Forbes is a reputable, somewhat reputable source.
So that number right there, is that, so my question is, I'm gonna play devil's advocate too. Is that,
well, let's say
is that a man? Is that man
okay.
playing is that?
We're not playing devil's advocate. We're just gonna play the advocate. Okay.
Is that man playing a bigger role, or is it circumstantial?
I personally think that men are definitely stepping up in today's society. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said earlier, I think it has something to do with social media. Like, I think as men are realizing how much a woman has to do, like you see it all the time, even on YouTube, right? So I'm taking the place of my wife for the day. You've even done it, where he's gone into a store and he's done, okay, well, I'm going to go into the store and do what my wife does. I'm going to go to Home Goods. I'm going to go to Walmart, and I'm going to act like my wife. So, I mean, in all humor, I know Nick is doing that to kind of poke fun at me a little bit and my little shopping endeavors. But with that being said, seriously, Nick.
Yeah.
Let's be serious now. If a man has to stay home with a child, right, or multiple children, like we have a lot of children, and they have to do everything, like you've never tried it before, but if he had to stay home with all these kids and tend to them, let's say for the next 3 or 4 days, by himself, independently, without my hand, without me telling him where things are, or without me helping him in any kind of way, other than a phone call, hey, are the kids okay? Because that's what he does to me. He'll call me throughout the day, check on the kids, see if everybody's okay. If he can't get me on the phone, which happens a lot, he'll go onto Alexa and he'll say, hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think men are realizing this, hey, they're doing a whole lot. I mean, not only are we're taking care of the kids in the household, but we also are maintaining jobs. Like, I've had this conversation with you so many times, and I kind of have struggled with being in the workforce or not. Even with my simple tasks, like my little part-time endeavors, that are only contract, but it's still a job. And, I've gotten mad at and upset with Nick sometimes because, I feel like I'm just overworked or doing so much. And it's almost like I'm jealous, and I'm like, well, he goes to work. He does come home and help me, mind you. But I'm with the kids all the time, okay? Then I have to figure out my work situation. And even when I'm figuring out my work situation for a few hours in the evening, the kids are coming to me and they're like, they're coming into my workspace and they're asking me questions. And I'm thinking to myself, bullseyes. I'm like, oh my gosh, why won't they go to their father? He's right there. Like, go to your dad. So, like, it still puts a lot of, stress on me as a female trying to take care of her household and her kids and so forth. So I don't think that men always recognize, unless it's shown to them by ways of social media, that women have a lot that they are enduring. Okay? There's a flip side to it, and I'll get to that flip side. So where I'm going with all of this is basically, I feel like dads are becoming more sympathetic and empathetic to the fact that women have a lot to deal with, right? They have a lot on their plates. They're dealing with the children, and they're dealing with whatever else that they have to deal with and maintaining their sanity. And they're starting to pitch in a little bit more and realizing it's not that bad if you change a few poopy diapers in a week. And it actually helps the relationship along because it creates less of a stressful environment. Now, you're great. He does a lot. He really does. So those little things that I'm talking about, these are just kids being kids, and they're just used to me, so they'll come to me. But you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. I mean, it's and like I said earlier,
you think social media is the reason why men are shifting?
I
Or do you think it's money? and income?
Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of it is, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit circumstantial, and I think it's also,
Financial?
yeah, just they want to, you know, like, what's going on in the world today. I
So
think
that
it's
is
a little bit
something
it's
you
a
have
little
no
bit of-
problem considering.
doing on.
Being a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, like, I mean, like I said, like, maybe I'm not explaining it right. If my family,
Oh, I got that.
no.
I'm
this
just
is what
clarifying.
I'm saying. Yeah, but no.
For future.
No, if my family requires me to do that, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Whatever the family requires.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it goes back to.
So you're willing to homeschool and do all the crazy things that I do in a day. So let's go through my typical day. I get up. You know, we're on summer break right now, but my typical day is I get up. I will usually just start with laundry chores throughout my day. And then I get the kids up, get them ready. I prepare breakfast, get the kids their breakfast, and then I start their school exercises, their whatever they have to do for school. And we go on with small breaks until it's lunchtime. Just before lunchtime, I have to prepare a lunch for the children, and then we move back into lessons after they've had a short break once again. So I have to sometimes be very creative in what I'm going to do for these short breaks, how to keep them engaged. Am I going to take them outside for 5 minutes? Like, what am I going to do today? Especially if I have unruly children that day. You know, our kids can get out of hand sometimes.
Yeah.
So then, after lunch, we move on. And sometimes it's a day where everything is running smoothly. And sometimes it's a day where it's chaotic because this one won't listen, this one won't listen. I got to keep this one quiet because this one has to do a test and this one is out of control. It can get really crazy. So, and then on top of it, I have to make sure the house isn't turned upside down. Because really and truly, like, I apologize to him if the house is a mess when he comes in because I feel bad. Like, but there's nothing I can do in that day because it is what it is. My day just went the way how it went, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, man, like, when it comes to family, like, it's how much I think it's how much value you put on your
But you're
family.
not answering the question.
I did answer the question. What's the
No, I said, would you do what I do? So then when you come
I
in...
said yes. I said if the family,
Okay,
if
so
that's what it requires.
even, I'm talking about the task that I've just explained to you. So remember, the laundry starts at the very beginning of my day.
Yeah, okay, so you're asking me,
Would you take on all of that? You know, our laundry gets overwhelming.
if I would take on all of that,
including maybe work on the side.
Yeah,
a little
if
bit.
I have to do, if the roles were reversed, that's what you're saying.
Would you do it?
That's what I would have to do because that's what it requires.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's what the family requires.
Okay.
You know, if the family requires me to go, you know, run 20 miles, that's what I'm gonna do. Run 20 miles.
Okay.
Like, it's not. I don't put too much emphasis on.
Would you guys like to see him do it?
And this person
I
has
would
to
like
do
to
that,
see him
and
do
that
it.
person has to do that. It's just, I mean, if I don't do it, then nothing is gonna run.
That's true. That is true.
And something is gonna.
But I would like to see you do it. I'm not doubting
You know what
you,
I mean?
but I would just like to see it. Okay.
I mean, that's what a family is. You need everybody to play a part. Everybody plays a part.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Do you think this is kind of like I guess this is like a broader statement, what I want to ask here. Okay, hold on one moment. Give me a second. Okay.
but there's one thing I gotta say though. There is, it's true though. Like, there's just some things a man gonna be better than a woman at, and there's something a woman gonna be better.
Okay.
Not saying that you can't do it, but it's just you're just better at that.
Okay, so
than a
I
man.
agree. I agree with you 100%.
But but it doesn't mean it can't get done.
Okay.
So that's all that is.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. So, which brings me to this next part. So, breaking like the stereotypes and dispelling myths about men and parenting. Okay, so what do you feel like are some of the myths about men and parenting? Do you feel like there are any myths attached to men and parenting? You just kind of said, you made a point that men and women are not going to necessarily always do things, and it's individual, the same.
I mean, there is. I think there is a couple of myths out there about men raising their kids, because I mean, even like, okay, they always say a woman needs to raise a girl, right, and a boy needs to be raised by his dad, right? Which there's a lot of truth to that, right? But there's also a part where, as a man, you can do things for your daughter. You can raise a daughter. You can have her be like one of my friends. He came and visit, and his wife was talking about all the stuff he was doing for her, for his little daughter.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a myth where, like, you know, it's not true for everybody.
Okay, so let's dispel one myth. I believe it is an absolute myth that men cannot comb a little girl's hair. That's a surefire myth.
And that's part of taking care of your daughter, right? Like, so it embodies the whole, you know, like, because it was proven to me when the guy came here and my buddy came here, and it's his wife who was saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
Not even him.
And Nick has even combed Sarah's hair.
So yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I mean, that is a myth.
Okay, and I'm definitely seeing more and more videos where men are doing hair care on their daughters. Black hair care in particular is a little more challenging. So I would definitely say that is something I've seen a major shift.
And you got YouTube, man.
Yeah.
You go on YouTube. If you don't know somebody, go on YouTube. You'll find it. Go on TikTok. Go on any one of them social media, you'll find it.
That is true. Okay, would you say it's a myth that men are less caring than women?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think men sometimes cares in different ways than the woman do, so it comes off like, oh, they might not care, but I mean, it's just different ways.
Yeah, I think
people do
they just display differently than women. Okay. Okay. All right. So I definitely agree that parenting is not just about like the gender, the male or the female. It's about love, dedication, and caring. Just all in all.
Oh, but you know what? And I thought about it. I'm like, okay. So you ask about if it's a myth about caring, right? And when you think about it, you know, they always say, oh, a female a little harder than a guy or whatever. But I mean, how many times
do they?
But listen, how many times you hear where, okay, a dude, you know, he might cheat on a female and she take him back, and then the same dude said, if a female ever cheat on me, I'm done. You know what I mean? So dude, who cares?
Who's caring more than who?
You know what I mean?
Okay, but you know, maybe we should. That's a good topic for another podcast. But
I just thought about it. And I said I'll say it here. But I mean, that is, you know, that's always a conversation.
That is definitely a conversation. So with that being said, okay, so to you guys out there, with that being said, do you think that a man actually might care more than a woman, or is that an ego thing?
It could be a little bit of both.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I want to elaborate.
Yeah, that's for another. I just thought I would throw it out there, but
okay,
it's one of them things where, you know.
Okay, so research actually has shown that men are capable of providing more emotional support and creating strong bonds with their children. So it's definitely a myth that emotionally distant fathers simply, that it's hold on, let me reiterate that one. Okay, so the myth of emotionally distant fathers is a myth because, like I said, research has shown that men are capable of providing emotional support and creating strong bonds with their children. Okay, so we agree with that one, so we'll move on from that. Okay, so what about the myth that men are clueless when it comes to parenting tasks? How do you feel about that? Do you feel that that is a myth? And this myth kind of comes from that role of men being portrayed as kind of bumbling around when a woman isn't there, and they're like clueless and they don't know what to do. So what do you feel about that myth? Like changing diapers, preparing a meal. I know you're great at preparing meals, but not every man is there. So,
I don't know. We need an in between, because I don't feel like it's a myth, and I feel like it's a myth. Like it's
okay.
I think it's kind of an in between. And it all depends
on the man.
Because it all depends. Because if say, all right, I'm gonna use my example. Like I go to work all the time. You handle most of the tasks. If something happened and you're going down, right? Go somewhere or whatever. Of course, I'm gonna be fumbling through it because this is not what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, right? So like, is it fully a myth? No, but is it still a myth? I think because you have dudes that can do that stuff. So
okay, so Sarah falls down. Camera just glitched again. Okay, so Sarah falls down. She hurts her knee, and I want to know what you're thinking. Like, okay, do you think that I'm the better nurturer, or do you think that you're the better nurturer? Like, do you think there's one parent that may just be the better nurturer in that situation? Just overall, gender-wise, male versus female.
That's a good question. But I think a woman is a born life giver, so to speak, and a nurturer. It's just natural for a woman to be nurtured.
You don't have to speak up.
It's natural for a woman to be a nurturer.
Okay.
So I would give that to the woman.
Okay. So I definitely feel like there are portions,
But that's not saying a man can't be
a nurturer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's something that you're actually great at.
But I think it's just more natural for a woman, right?
Yeah, in some circumstances. Because there are circumstances where I feel like Nick is a little rough around the edges, and there's others, like especially with the girls, he's a little softer, a little gentler. With the boys, I feel like he's a little rough around the edges. There could be a little more nurturing there.
Yeah, no, I think a woman is just, you guys are born with that stuff, man. You guys are born protectors, born nurturers, born life givers. So, all those are true. But yeah.
I would say that both sides, though, definitely balance out each other. So whatever you bring to the table and I don't bring to the table, whatever I bring to the table and you don't bring to the table, is somewhat balanced in a healthy parenting situation. Okay?
Yeah, that's how it's gonna work. You have to have that. You gotta have that.
Okay. And we don't want to ever forget about the impact that incredible fathers do have in their children's lives. So, I know, it's always said, well, a man needs a man and a woman needs a woman. We all know that. That's for sure. But it also happens in the reverse. And I just think the presence of two parents being there for their children is the greatest deal of all, whether or not It's from traditional roles or non-traditional roles. Working together as a team and a unit is most essential, and really what matters the most, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to applaud the dads out there that are dispelling and destroying the stereotypes, that are encapsulating our world today.
Yeah, but
do you have anything to add to that?
no, I just think it takes everybody to make this thing work that we call this great experiment as a family, to make it work. Because it's when part is missing, then there's all type of dysfunction that happens. So it takes everybody to complete the circle. So I mean, when any part is missing, it's going to be a problem. You may not see the problem now or later, but it will show up at some point. So it takes everybody to play their part, to play their role, and to make a family unit. And everything just flow easier. Life is much better. So I think people just need to play their part. And once you play your part, I'm talking about from the kids on up to the grown adult. Once everybody plays their part, then life is much easier, in my opinion. So that's all I gotta say about that.
So definitely, I think this was a start to our podcast series. I guess we'll continue to do.
Just on our back porch, just having a candid conversation.
Yeah, candid conversations.
It's not gonna be perfect. It's not. I mean,
we don't want it to be perfect.
Everybody have their opinion and stuff. It's just our view on the questions that we're asked and what we think, what I think, what my wife thinks. So you might have something different. So if you have a different view, just tap on down in the comment section, and we're willing. Share. We're willing to hear and willing to listen to what you have to say. So
this is a no shame, this is a no shame, no negativity, non-negative environment. We really want to keep, the energy very positive over here. So if you don't have anything good to say at all, please stay out of the comment section. If you have some insight that you want to share, we're not going to judge.
Yeah.
You guys have your opinions. We have our opinions. Nick has his opinions. I have my opinions.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not going to agree with everything I say, and I'm going to agree with everything you say.
Exactly.
I'm not going to agree with everything you say. So it's just,
But together we can learn.
People having conversations, man.
Right.
And saying how they feel.
Yeah. God put us here to learn together. So we all need each other, and having conversations is a great way. And a lot of times when you're listening to people's conversations, or you're looking, at new insight on things, it can give you a different perspective on, how to look at something. So I think it's really important to communicate with each other and kind of go back and forth on some of these topics.
Yeah, and this is actually the first time we're videotaping this, but these are conversations we have all the time. This is not nothing new. So it's just the first time we just put a camera and just videotaping.
It's a little bit awkward, but this is exactly what we do all the time.
We'll try to capture more of these and try to get them posted, so you guys can have a real intimate
podcast.
You guys have a real intimate look inside the life of Nick and Nadine.
Outside of the shopping and the decorate with me's and the family vlogs, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just all raw and uncut, just on the back. What do they call this? Lanai?
Yeah, we're in our lanai.
Just chopping it up. So, yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
As a matter of fact, when I got a massage today, guys, just figured out whatever. It was good too. My shoulders hurt now.
Did you get the deep one or did you get which one did you get?
I got the medium. The last time not the last
Story
time.
time.
The first time, how did I end up telling a story, man? I always tell stories. But I think it wasn't like when I just got introduced to getting massages, I said I want a deep massage, man. So I went and
the stereotype, a man feeling like
I did get a deep massage. Let me tell you guys something, man. I think it was like a day after, man. My body was in pain, like serious pain. So I said no more. Like every time I get massage, I do it medium. But after a couple days after the pain went away, it felt good though. But it was just too much pain for me. So I never got a deep massage ever again. So it was medium.
So men, don't feel like, oh, I'm a man, I should get a deep massage. Be careful with the deep massage. Okay.
So, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad. That was his pre-Father's Day gift. And
oh yeah, more gifts. So guys, check this out. I want you guys to comment below.
I'm about to go under the bus. Okay.
Comment below and let me know what you guys think, right? So my birthday's in June, and then Father's Day's in June. Who agrees with me that though I should be celebrated for the whole month? Down below, let me know. Let me know what you guys think, right? Should I be celebrated for the whole month?
If he says he wants a celebration, we'll give him a celebration for the rest of this month.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to him because he works hard and he deserves it.
That's right.
Okay, but guess what? My birthday is at the end of the month. So
Say it again.
My birthday. Don't be smart. My birthday is at the end of the month.
Okay. You guys get that? The end. My birthday is smack dead in the middle, so I should be celebrated for the whole time. You're at the end.
No, you should be celebrated in the last 2
You're
weeks.
At the end,
in the last 2
Rudy,
weeks of the
you're
month.
At the end.
Okay, so for the remainder of the month, which would be the last 2 weeks of the month, so I think I should get something too. I think so. Am I not special enough?
You are. You're always special. Like everybody plays a part. That's see, and that's the thing. Everybody, like, it doesn't matter how small of a role it is, you still play a part because
small.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying you play a small role.
I know.
What
I'm just messing with you.
What I'm saying is, if you're not there to play that role, you know, everything is dysfunctional. All right, let me give you an example. Okay, at the hospitals, right? You have janitors, you got nurses, you got doctors, you got everybody there, right? Mm-hmm. You know, people might frown upon the janitors that's cleaning up and sweeping up or whatever. Mm-hmm. Let the janitors go on strike and see what happens.
And see what happens. That's for sure.
You get what I'm saying? So
for sure.
Everybody plays their part. So you need everybody.
That's for sure.
So
half the time the nurses are the janitors.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and the kitchen, and the nurses are already doing it all. But I get what you're saying. It's so important.
I know that everybody's important.
Yeah, everybody is important.
People cry. People complain about these fast food chains when they go there and they mess up their orders. But if these people quit, if everybody quit, what's gonna happen? You ain't gonna have nothing to complain about because guess what? You ain't gonna have no fast food.
That is true.
You get what I'm saying?
That is.
I mean, they
true.
piss me off too. I cuss them out a lot of times too.
The
only reason why
Nick's not cussing anybody out.
The only reason why I'm saying that is I have one of those fast food restaurants next to my house, close to my house, that I've went there a couple times and I've been disappointed because the food wasn't right. Not that the order was messed up, and then another time something was happened to the food. So I'm a little bit bitter. You guys don't judge me. You know, I'm ranting a little bit. If I sound a little bitter, but I also know that these people are important, regardless of what happened or what I think. So Everybody's important, guys. Doesn't matter how small of a job they do or how big of a job they do. They're all important. Everybody's important. Everybody play a role. You just gotta find that role.
That is true. So I love it. I love having conversations with my husband, and I want to wish you a happy early. It's 9:56 p.m. I'm gonna get this video or this. Let me stop saying video. It is a video podcast out for tomorrow, which you guys hopefully can enjoy.
You gonna tell me Happy Father's Day all day tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you whatever you want. I'm gonna
every hour on the hour. You just say Happy Father's Day.
Okay.
Happy Father's Day.
Are you coming to church with us tomorrow?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's better than no.
If God keeps you
maybe it's better than
in
no.
a house and fed and clothed. Maybe?
Maybe it's better than no.
Okay. Okay. Alright guys, I think that's it. Actually, Nick looks like he perks back up. He looked like he was a little bit tired at the beginning of this. Like he looked like he perked back up. Maybe we can get another podcast out of him. But anyway, you guys.
Hi guys, honestly, like I'm a very spontaneous person. Like I don't like this. I don't do well. Well, I do well with planning stuff because I do like structure. You know what I mean? But like when it comes to the video stuff, you know, like I don't want to say I got to be in the mood, but I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Like you guys might think I'm not. You guys see me in the videos, you're like, what's wrong with him or blah blah. It's nothing wrong with me. It's just that, you know, sometimes it's just.
Well, I think we're both kind of people.
You know, like, I don't know how to explain it.
We're kind of both moody, but I snap out a little easier than he does. So like it's easier for me to be really, really feeling mad, my personality.
Yeah. And
then for me to like quickly shift, very quickly shift, versus Nick, he takes his time to shift out a little bit more. So, which is weird because we're both kind of moody.
Yeah.
But I have a tendency to be able to shift, so it's probably easier for me to run a video, even if I'm not in the mood to run a video, than Nick.
Yeah.
So, but you do like the camera.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the camera.
Yeah.
I don't have issues. It's just that, you know, I just don't want you guys to think that I'm upset or mad or whatever.
Or he's giving me an attitude. Sometimes I'm like, you look like you gave me the most attitude in that video, Nick.
Trust me, guys, I'm a happy man, okay? So don't you guys don't
get it twisted. Is what
yeah,
he's trying to say.
Don't think anything like that. So
okay. Alright, well, I am going to close out the video, and I want to tell you guys to embrace the love of God and inspire the world, and we will see you on the next podcast. I'm hoping, I don't want to give you guys a schedule for this podcast, but I'm hoping we can be extremely
we'll do another one.
Consistent.
It might be in our bedroom, it might be in the house, it might be on the
ceiling.
Road, it might be somewhere.
But you guys
it's
are
just
going to get
wherever
another
we're
one.
at, just, you know, like, I don't want it to be, I want it to be candid and raw conversation, and I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to be scheduled, or I don't want it to be like, oh, we're gonna go out here and do it, or we're gonna go, like, we might just be somewhere and be like, hey, just take a camera, let's talk about something, and then just do it.
Yeah.
And then you guys will see raw.
But hopefully we'll get it on a schedule, because we do these conversations a lot.
No, putting it out will be on a schedule.
Yeah,
but
I hope we'll be able to get it on a schedule, because
but doing it,
we love a lot of pillow talk, and we love a lot of like
she could definitely get it. Like once we get a couple of them or whatever, then you can get a schedule or whatever.
Yeah.
Put it up, but it's not gonna be scheduled where we're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna go sit out here and do this. No, it's just gonna be we're gonna be somewhere.
Whatever. You guys are gonna get it raw.
Something
makeup, no makeup, hair, no hair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or something might happen and be like, let's talk about this and put the camera on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not gonna be like. It might be in our bedroom. It might be downstairs. It might be in the car. It might be
so get used to just about anything. We'll surprise you.
So it's and I think that's fun too, you know. So it's
all Nick's idea. I thought it was amazing because we have like some really cool conversations sometimes. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. It is getting late. You guys can hear the crickets out here. They're wild. So
and we talk about everything. We talk about everything. So
everything down to the kitchen pots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do keep our channel clean.
Yeah, we try to keep everything clean. So hopefully you guys can run these podcasts. We will not be cussing.
Yeah,
we will not be.
We try to keep it clean.
We're trying to get to heaven. So
and I want and see, man, and this is, I know I'm going off again.
Nick is right. Let me just sit back and let Nick finish the podcast.
No, because like I mean, I know we're making videos, but also this is for my kids, right? I'm documenting stuff for my kids, and I want my kids to be able to watch these videos.
Yes.
And their kids watch the videos, so we try to keep all our videos clean as possible.
As clean as possible.
So.
I think this is the most raw that you guys are going to get us, because even though we're trying to keep it clean, I realize that we're adults, so some things are going to come up.
Yeah, but you can also have clean fun too.
Yeah,
so,
but
I mean,
we're going to try to keep it in such a way that, the kids, you don't have to like block their ears when you're around our podcast situations. Yeah. So. And
it's cool because YouTube is a big space. So there's places for everybody to have their own little. If you want to hear this, go here. If you want to go there, whatever. So it's just it's cool. I think there's a place for everybody.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But yeah.
Okay, guys.
But love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
See you guys later from the crickets and from Nick and Nadine. Good night, everyone. Bye.